Good afternoon. Bit of a change of tack. I've been asked on YouTube to talk about my training and my diet. I'm not exactly sure why, but I'll give it a go. So probably the important thing to say first off is that I've trained all my life, and I think that kind of, I guess it just makes things very often more of a tick over situation than aiming for some kind of end target. I first walked into a gym to do weights when I was 15. I was at school, might have even been 14. And yeah, I quite liked it. The funny thing is, I do train with weights all the time. I'm not a massive fan of it, if I'm honest. It's a means to an end, I suppose. I like to feel fit and strong. I like to be able to run a couple of miles, and I like to be, yeah, relatively strong. Keep myself in shape, and I think part of that is linked to the death of my adopted dad, who was unfit, overweight, had his first heart attack when he was 40, died from a massive heart attack at 50. And I've definitely always had a real aversion to being overweight. And I think that's probably directly related to my dad, even though we're not biologically related. Overweight is overweight, and it comes with potential problems, especially as you get older. So I've always kept myself in reasonable nick. Diet-wise, I used to be really militant about it all. And I think all of that pretty much went out the window with my accident back in 2014. So before the accident, I'd been out for just under 3 years from my first sentence. And in that time, obviously memory is not 100%, but in that time, I'm almost certain that I never ate a biscuit. I never ate a bar of chocolate. I didn't have desserts when I went out to eat. I don't particularly drink, so all of those things helped me, you know, keep it a sensible size and weight. Having said that, by the time I got out in 2011, I was nearly 40. I didn't particularly bother myself too much anymore with eating healthy, but I keep it reasonable, you know. Sometimes I go off the rails for a few weeks, and then I'll rein it all back in. I think I've got a sty coming. Can you fucking believe it? I have something for it, so I'm going to get busy. So in terms of training, yeah, I played a lot of sport all my life. From the age of 6, I was playing football. Then from the age of 7, football, rugby, cricket, athletics, squash, tennis. Played a bit of golf because we lived on Wentworth Golf Course when I was a kid. And there's been other things, swimming, athletics, I think I've mentioned. I did all of those things for my school, my prep school. I played squash, tennis, cricket, rugby, football. I was in the athletics team and the swimming team. So I did a bit of everything, and I enjoy it all. I always have. I used to ride horses as well when I was a kid. I guess that's kind of sport. Well, I don't want to upset any equestrians, but there is sport involved, obviously, but my mum decided that she wanted me and my sister to ride horses because she did. So I did that for, I'm not even sure how long. I was very young, and I can still ride a horse. I just choose not to. I don't really like horses. They're too fucking big. Yeah, my dad kind of instilled a bit of weariness of horses as well. My mum's horse didn't particularly like my dad, and he had a few nips here and there, and yeah, I wouldn't want to be bitten by a horse or kicked or anything really. So the last time I rode a horse was, I think, in Ibiza in about 1999. I can't remember riding a horse since then. Anyway, let's get back to the point. So yeah, when I left school, I played sports for the college I went to do my A-levels. And then I was also playing football for a semi-professional side from the age of 17, I think. It didn't last very long. We lived too far away from where it was, so I got bored of driving. But I guess the main consistents have always been a bit of running, a bit of cycling, weights, and just anything. I like going and kicking a football around because you can get a nice bit of fitness from just running around kicking a ball, and it's not so much of a chore as doing a 5-mile run or a 10-mile bike ride. Having said that, I played football the other day with my son, and we were just having a kick around, and we'd been playing for about half an hour. I was all nice and warmed up, kicked the ball to him, tore a quad muscle, and it's quite a bad tear. It's this was on Thursday. It's now Saturday, 48 hours later, and it's still really painful, and I can feel that it's swollen. I'm not sure which one it is. I'm not sure, but I'll have a look. I've got PE A-level, so I have a reasonable knowledge of anatomy and physiology, and I've added to that over the years. I'm a qualified personal trainer. Did that after becoming a qualified gym instructor, and yeah, I like to know stuff. I always have, so I know quite a lot about sort of muscular skeletal system, and yeah, just the human body in general. So yeah, in short, let's just summarize this. So right now I'm nearly 52. I would say I train on average 5 or 6 times a week. Sometimes I'll miss a few days, but I'll go twice in a day if I get time. I do mostly weights. I've been to the gym this morning. I did my abs and a bit of chest. Didn't work out brilliantly because the gym was busy and I can't be arsed with it all when it's like that. So I did a bit of chest and I did my abs, and that's me for today. Tomorrow, Sunday, I might train. We'll see. I don't really have a kind of regimented plan for it all anymore. If I fancy going and I can, then I will. And yeah, like I said, that generally works out 5 or 6 times a week, and then that will either include a run or with a run tagged on top. And yeah, I just enjoy it. I enjoy it. It keeps me reasonably balanced in my head. Some might say that that's not quite the case, but there's probably questions about all of this. I'm happy to answer them. If you want to leave comments, Have a nice day.